What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. It's just me, Seamus Brady, this time, and I'm going to be doing a preview of all the Gaelic football matches which are taking place over the weekend in two videos. This video is a preview of the Provincial Finals. We have all four Provincial Finals happening in the All-Ireland Football Championship this weekend. Some are way harder to call than others. We're going to start with, in my opinion, the easiest one to call. That is, unfortunately for Limerick, the Munster Gaelic Football Final. Limerick are making absolutely brilliant strides. Make no mistake, Billy Lee has come in, 2 promotions in 3 years. They're producing the likes of Brian Donovan, Josh Ryan at full forward. They brought him back in. Ian Corbett at centre back. A midfield partnership with Dara Tracy and Killian Fahy. They're really moving nicely. I was really impressed by the likes of Adrian Enright as well in that league final. But look, coming up against Kerry, I guess it is just a step too far. It's massive progress for Billy Lee and for Limerick. Don't get me wrong. Beating Clare was a fantastic achievement. And then beating Tipperary to make the Munster Final, it's a fantastic achievement. And I know I just said that, but brilliant from Billy Lee, brilliant from Limerick. But coming up against this Kerry team, I think it's a little bit too far for them. I think Kerry are just on a different level this season. Clifford, his performance in the league final was just scary. Sean O'Shea, you know, even Tony Brosnan now is coming in and he's really making strides. They've got a nice midfield partnership there of Diarmuid O'Connor and Jack Barry. And then they've got David Moore and starting to come back in. It'll be interesting to see how Tyg Morley and Jason Foley do in this game. Brian Donovan and Josh Ryan are good inside forwards. It will be an interesting test for them. But yeah, Kerry in this game for me, no brainer. Moving on to the next provincial final, which is taking place on the Saturday, Dublin against Kildare in the Leinster Football Final. In my opinion, right, there's an asterisk beside Kildare's victory. If you look at, okay, yes, Kildare beat Dublin in the league, and it was a fantastic performance by Kildare on the day, great victory, and the standout performance of their whole league campaign. But it was in Newbridge, and Newbridge as a pitch compared to Croke Park is so different. The how tight the pitch is. Everything is different in Newbridge compared to Croke Park. Croke Park is a much more open surface. And it's not made for a battle. Now, that does suit the likes of Jimmy Hyland, that does suit the likes of Daniel Flynn, but it also suits the likes of Con O'Callaghan, it also suits the likes of Kieran Kilkenny, it also suits the likes of Cormac Costello. And I just think Dublin are just a bit better than Kildare, because if you look, you look at the fact that Kildare did beat them. You also look at the fact that in last year's Leinster Final, Dublin walked it and Kildare never really got close. Daniel Flynn's goal was amazing that day, but Kildare never looked like they were going to win that game. They were without Kevin Feely. He's a massive player for them, but I don't see them being able to close that gap in a year. I just think, it's Dublin's game to win this one. I think we've shown some signs of, improved performance. I mean, we absolutely beat Meath out the gate. So I think, we're going to win this game. Another Leinster title for Dublin. I think it's going to be by at least 5 points. Dublin win this game. Moving on to the next provincial final on the Sunday, throwing in at 1:45, the Connacht Football Final between Galway and Roscommon. And this is so hard to call because they've played each other twice this season. And Roscommon have won both of those games. And they've looked fantastic doing it. I mean, the first game of the league, Galway did rotate their team a bit. They were already into the league final. Roscommon won that day. And then in the league final, Galway brought in a lot of their players back, but they were still without Shane Walsh. They brought him on towards the end when they made that comeback. Then Diarmuid Murtagh's goal really, that saw Roscommon home over the line. So you're looking at it on paper and you're saying, Roscommon beat them twice. And, surely that means that, they're going to do it again. I don't know, because Galway were neck and neck with them pretty much both times without their full panel. And Galway did just beat Mayo. And if Mayo were in this game, a lot of people would be backing Mayo to beat Roscommon. So it's really, really hard to know. Like, this is so hard to call. Part of me is thinking Shane Walsh is the difference. Shane Walsh is so good. And, against Mayo, he just draws, even if he's not the centre of it, he draws so much attention that then Damien Como was really good. And look, Roscommon haven't faced the full Galway component this season. And I'm thinking that, you know what, a third time lucky for Galway. I'm saying it. I just, don't get me wrong, Roscommon have been excellent. Their Division 2 form was incredible, the only unbeaten side in all 4 divisions of the Allianz League. But I just think Galway turned the corner in their victory against Mayo. I thought they looked really good. And yeah, I'm going with Galway to win this one. Shock, but yeah, I'm going Galway. And then that brings us to the last of the provincial finals, throwing in at 4:00 on Sunday. Derry against Donegal. This is one of the most anticipated Ulster finals I've seen over the last few years. Derry have been the absolute story of 2022. I mean, we all knew they were good. They were very unlucky not to get promoted out of Division 2. I mean, I spoke about it in length when Brian Stack dragged down Shane McGuigan. I thought Derry would have won that game if McGuigan hadn't have been sent off. And then that would have been Derry promoted. So, look, they were a hair's breadth away. They showed in 2021 how serious they were to be taken when they, walked Division 3. And then, they'd beaten Cavan on the way, and then they took Donegal to this opponent that they're playing. They took Donegal right down to the wire. It was Paddy McBrearty who hit that wonder point at the end of the game, which saw Donegal home. So Derry are right there with them, and Derry can compete with them. And if you ever doubted it for a second, they've hammered Tyrone, the All-Ireland champions, in their own backyard in Healy Park home with 118 to 10 points. And then they go to Monaghan. No, they host Monaghan, and they beat Monaghan as well. And they beat them by about 4 points. They beat them quite comfortably. So this is a Derry team to be taken absolutely seriously. Donegal, on the other hand, they've beaten Cavan. They haven't really had the same impressive stat. I mean, I know they beat Armagh. That was a good victory. Then they beat Cavan. And Cavan did put it up to them for a long period of the game. Eventually, Donegal broke their siege and got through. This is such an interesting Ulster final because Donegal, in terms of you're talking about what have Donegal done over the last few years compared to Derry, Donegal had the better CV over the last few years in terms of what they've done. But Derry, there's something about Derry. There's something about Derry in terms of their momentum, what they're doing, and the fact that this season then they actually have taken out Tyrone, they've taken out Monaghan. I'm going with Derry to win this one. I'm believing in the hype. Donegal, on the other hand, they're coming in very dangerously. They're coming in as a very underrated team in this game. People are sleeping on the ability that Donegal have. McBrearty, Murphy, they're sleeping on it a bit. And look, I think absolutely Donegal could win this game, but I just think Derry are riding the momentum. And I think they will carry that momentum to an Ulster title, which would be a sensational achievement for Rory Gallagher. I think the key things in this game is obviously Chrissy McCaig is going to go on Paddy McBrearty. And if he can do the job he did on McBrearty last time, I think that instantly gives Derry so much better of a chance of winning because he proper had McBrearty in his pocket. And then on the flip side, who Donegal picked to pick up Shane McGuigan is going to be massive. Who they pick to pick up Benny Heron is going to be massive because Heron has been tearing teams apart in the Ulster Championship. And then who they pick, Heron got 2 goals the last day against Monaghan. And then who they pick to go toe-to-toe with Conor Glass in midfield because Conor Glass has been cleaning up the midfield over the last while, including against Tyrone, against Kilpatrick and Kennedy, which was so impressive. Garrett McKinless at centre-back for Derry is another massive one. What Donegal decide to do about him because he is the absolute talisman at that back for Derry. He drives forward, he sweeps up, and he got that brilliant goal against Monaghan, which really kind of opened the floodgates, if you like, and got the Derry fans really believing that the momentum was going to continue. I think if Donegal can hold the start, make a slow start to the game, don't let Derry burst out the traps and get an early goal. Yeah, that's what I mean. Donegal have to get through the first 15 minutes without conceding a goal because if they do, Derry will really believe that their time has come. Donegal have to make it a slow, cagey start and then try and use their experience, in my opinion, to just grind out a victory. For Derry, it's all momentum, so they're going to have to hit Donegal quick and fast. I think their system is fantastic. Gallagher has put in a brilliant system there. Just get the ball to Shane McGuigan, get the ball to Benny Heron. Trust in their system that has got them this far. And yeah, I think another thing they could do is Sean Patton is dodgy as hell underneath those long balls. He's the long high balls into the box. I mean, we saw it against Cavan in 2020. That's how Cavan got their goal right at the end. We've seen other examples of Sean Patton struggle under a high ball. So I think that's potential out for Derry. They can go long, and an Emmett Bradley or a Conor Glass in on the edge of the square could actually cause serious problems for Donegal if they start to be behind towards the end of the game. But I'm going for Derry to win this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Donegal win it though. Yeah, so they're my provincial champions pick. I'm going Kerry to win Munster, Dublin to win Leinster, Galway to win Connacht, and Derry to win Ulster. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments below, and let me know why you think which team is going to win. Don't forget to also check out the Tailteann Cup preview video. It's on the Play on GAA channel as well. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It really helps us out. And until the next one, guys, take care.